What is up, guys? It is Stu, and it is another episode of the What the Fuck Gym Talk podcast. I'm not sure if you've seen this little bit of fuckery in the fitness industry recently, but there's an article out that just came out from Athletech, and it's talking about a broader topic. This idea that whatever you've come up with for your UBF, your unique belief in fitness, your methodology, your programming model, the choreographed moves of your programming, the way you lay out a fitness class, if you believe that is intellectual property that you can own and protect, you're highly, highly fucking mistaken. Okay? We're going to talk about that a little bit today. So this article from Athletech came out. Tracy Anderson Fitness Method cannot be copyrighted, judge says. If you're not familiar with Tracy Anderson Fitness, that is a fitness brand. It's very posh, very high end. She got really popular with like celebrities in LA, and she has locations in New York, LA, Madrid, London. Just very posh, very one percenter. They have these resistance bands attached to the ceiling, and they do, a bunch of cool shit with it, whatever. So Tracy Anderson gets pissed, right? If you read through this article, a California federal judge has dismissed fitness pioneer Tracy Anderson's copyright infringement claims against former employee and Sculpt Society founder Megan Roop, finding that Anderson's workout fitness method isn't protected under U.S. copyright law, is not protected, okay? So apparently, someone who worked at a gym, Tracy Anderson's gym, left the gym and went and started her own studio called Sculpt Society. Wow. Are you fucking serious? Someone left a gym to go open up their own gym? Get the fuck out of here. Like, the idea, like, how pretentious do you have to be? And again, I don't know Tracy Anderson. She's probably dope as fuck, probably cool as hell. But it takes a lot of balls for you to be like, hey, I have like 4 studios across the entire world, and we use resistance bands, but we hang them across the, the scaffolding of the ceiling and have people pulled down. We do something unique with it. And the fact that you're going to leave my company and then go start something else that kind of looks like my thing, that's not allowed. We're going to court. Insane. Fucking, you have 4 studios across the entire world. And you think this person, Megan Roop's fucking Sculpt Society, it is going to, detract from that? From your world domination in all 4 fucking cities that you're in of Tracy Anderson Studios? It's insane. Let's look at Sculpt Society. What the fuck does this even look like? Sculpt Society. Let's see. I bet you, how many studios are these? Okay, so this is literally a chick. This looks like a COVID video. You guys watching this? This looks like shit that she shot during COVID. These are online classes. Yeah, that's all this is online. This is even a studio. The method, about us. There's not even locations, motherfuckers. So let me get this straight. Tracy Anderson, which is a brick and mortar location, wanted to sue this chick who's literally working out in a green screen, like in a fucking studio. Like, this is just like a rented studio for her to shoot these videos. This looks not like, again, and I don't know much about Tracy Anderson's like actual unique belief in fitness, but my guess is it's pretty fucking, it's got to be way different than what this chick's doing online. The method. She is online. She has studios here. She's a fitness pioneer. Of course, why wouldn't you be a fitness pioneer in your underwear like that? Like, she's hot. I get it. Like, but Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't see the connection here, kids. I don't see the connection. But anyway, so neither did a judge, apparently. I don't see any connection here. But so someone used to work for her, didn't anymore, open up her own studio, TA. That's what we're calling Tracy Anderson now. We're tight like that. TA got pissed and sued her. All right. So the New York-based fitness company, Tracy Anderson, claimed that Roop, who departed the company in 2017 and launched their rival Sculpt and Dance cardio fitness business, used confidential information to create choreography movements and sequences similar to those in Anderson's copywritten TA Works DVDs Do you guys remember what TA used to stand for? Like rap videos back in the day, if you're a millennial? Tits and ass. Tits and ass. Anderson's copywritten TA Works DVDs. I bet you I had some TA Works DVDs back when I was in high school, and they were not the same kind. Now, here's the one where some of you guys are going to be able to relate to TA, and so can I. Tracy Anderson claims that this former employee emailed potential clients, including those that were existing customers of Tracy Anderson's, of TA, informing them of her new venture shortly after she terminated her employment. Listen, do I think that's shitty? Yes. Do I think that as an employer, you got to have really tight systems to make sure that when somebody is terminated, again, she was terminated. She didn't quit. She was terminated. So you knew you were going to fire her. What is it we do, kids, when we know we're going to fire one of our employees? We make sure all their usernames and passwords have been changed. We make sure they're locked out of any clouds. We make sure they no longer have keys to the building. You acquire and do all these things ahead of time. But so yes, I do think that's shitty that the ex-employee, grabbed the contact list and started emailing people. But get this, she can't force them to quit. They were just like, oh, you know what, actually, was it Megan Roop? Was that her fucking name? Megan Roop. Actually, you were the only instructor I liked over at Tracy Anderson. You're leaving? You're starting your own thing? Okay, I'll go too. Like, that is the free will of a customer. So what? Like, it's not like, well, she would have never emailed them. They would have never known she was starting her own studio. Yeah, they probably would have found out she was starting a studio. I don't know. Like, I just don't get, I understand that it's a fucking shitty fucking move to do. But at the same time, you don't own these customers. They can come and go for whatever reason that they want. To get all pissy, like you emailed them, you sent a mass email out to everyone. Think about it as you as a gym owner. Tracy Anderson, me, you, we mass email prospects all the time. Do we ever give it a second thought? Well, man, what if this prospect is at another gym? Oh my God, that's so unethical of me to then inform them of my thing. And I get it. This person obviously knew. They probably jacked the list before they left. I get it. It's shitty, but still. And I just hate, there's no crying in baseball, kids. You're in business, okay? Fair market, grow a fucking set, and stop bitching and whining about, well, look what they did to me, and they emailed some people. In his June 12th order, Judge Philip Gutierrez of the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California found that Anderson's famed fitness method is clearly an unprotectable process, system, and or methodology. Kids, I want you to all say this with me. Just take Anderson's name out of it. Your fitness method is clearly an unprotectable process, system, or methodology. One more time. Your unique belief in fitness is clearly an unprotectable process, system, or methodology, because nobody owns squats. Nobody owns deadlifts or bicep curls or pull-ups or running and power cleans. Even CrossFit themselves, and I made an Instagram post on this, that if Greg Glassman or CrossFit, I guess now, out there suing everybody who's doing constantly varied functional movements at high intensity, which they would also not win. CrossFit would also lose in court because CrossFit's methodology is also unprotectable process, system, or methodology. Because, guys, no one owns these things. The best quote I ever heard on this was, it's like chords in music or notes in music. Like the Beatles didn't invent the D chord or the A note or the C. They don't own rhythm. They just put things together in a certain particular cadence with a certain, beat and a rhythm and a backing track and these instrumentals and these vocals. And guess what? All of that becomes IP. But not just like, you did thrusters and then box jumps and then you ran. Whoa. I don't know if you know this, but I came up with that workout 4 years ago. No one has ever put those things in this exact order ever. I own it. No, you don't, fuckface. Not according to our boy Judge Philip Gutierrez of the U.S. District Court of Central District of California. He said, eat a dick. None of this is your IP to have, TA, right? And that these methods are explicitly precluded from protection. All right. So you can go through, like, they talk about another story here with Bikram's yoga. If you guys know Bikram's yoga, it was like, again, there was that Netflix documentary where he was a super creepy Indian dude who walked around in his underwear just fucking all the women in his little like Bikram yoga cult. It was gross. But he did like the hot yoga, that whole thing. But he tried to sue people for, trademark infringing and copywriting infringing on his like 26 signature yoga poses in this particular order. Sorry, homie. It's not yours. You don't own it. Okay. Here's some other one. Like, check this out. Let's just go back to music for a second. You guys, any of you guys Ed Sheeran fans, right? Anyone here? So if you're an Ed Sheeran fan, our boy Ed, have you ever seen this famous video on YouTube? Just put in like Ed Sheeran 4-chord progression. He shows how like you can take 4 chords, which is there are 4 chords in the song "Let's Get It On." It's a Marvin Gaye classic. "Let's Get It On." We all know that song. We've all made sweet, sweet, sweet love to a person, whichever kind of person you want, to that song. And "Thinking Out Loud," which is an incredible fucking jam by my redheaded ginger brethren here, is the family of was it Marvin Gaye's family? Who was it? It was, I think it was someone on that side of the family. Just essentially said that he stole that song or the rhythm or the chord progression from that song, that Ed Sheeran stole it. And then it was proven in court, like, you cannot trademark a fucking chord progression. And then Ed's get this great video where he takes that same 4-chord progression and plays you like dozens of different songs that are popular hits that everyone would recognize, saying like, you can't, everyone's using the same shit. F45, let's go back to the fitness industry. If you guys recall F45 here, let me scroll in here. This is from our friends over at Fit Insider. It's not letting you zoom out enough. You can't see the top. Here we go. All right. So check out. So F45 loses patent battle with Exponential's BFT. So Body Fit Training is a boutique micro gym brand owned by Exponential. F45 is obviously F45. And F45 has been losing a lot recently. A lot. But anyway, what they essentially said was that F45 claimed that that remote configuration and operation of fitness studios from a central server was their IP. And I actually went and pulled up the actual, like, this is the breakdown of the actual 890 patent. So it's what they call the 890 patent. It's patent number 10,143,890, the 890 patent. Which is directed to methods of remotely configuring and directing the operation of a fitness studio from a central server. Okay? From a central server. So I didn't read too, like, all the way down on this, but essentially saying that you can't do that. You can't. We have a central database where we're running these studios off of, and that's ours. So nobody will ever should be allowed to be able to do that either. Like, if I'm at 45, do I really think that if BFT is running a bunch of their information off a central server, that's what's fucking up my numbers? Oh, or maybe it's the fact that I lied when I went public and I fucked over a lot of my franchisees by overselling territories, and my entire fucking fitness model is nothing more than it's a back alley fucking dumpster fire behind a Chinese restaurant in July. It's a fucking shit show. Maybe that's the problem at 45. I don't think it's the fact that BFT is also running a bunch of information off a single server or whatever the fuck you were whining about here. Guys, this is absolutely so relative to so many of you guys, though, in this world, because let's talk about this for a second. If you have a UBF that you created yourself, do not be afraid that someone's going to steal it, because I can promise you they fucking will. As they should. Yes, I said as they fucking should. You stole it from somebody. You took some elements, and I feel super confident in talking about this. I've put out courses on how to create a white space model. There's a video I made a way back for a conference. It's still available. You can watch it today. It was the 20 fucking 16 growth summit or something like that I did, where I did a video on how to steal from other brands. And I take you through my favorite quote: good artists borrow, great artists steal. And all stealing is, which we all steal from each other, is looking at a bunch of models that you like, a bunch of ideas you like, and taking the things you like, leaving the things you don't, and then improving upon them for your unique thing. And eventually you come up with something that doesn't look like anyone else's, but it drew inspiration. It's okay to steal when drawing inspiration. But like, to chase after a former employee, like, I get it. You want to go after them for like non-competes because they emailed a bunch of your ex-clients. Fine, fair enough. Tracy Anderson, go nuts. Go for it. But to say that your thing is fucking unique to the tune that anyone who does anything that looks like this, I should be able to take to court, fucking insane. And there's gym owners like, dude, this guy stole my workouts. You stole your workouts, you dumb fuck. I swear to God, I've had CrossFit gym owners comment on post and hit me up, be like, dude, I know what you're talking about. I had a gym down the street steal my workouts. They weren't yours. It's like if I wrote this sentence: the dog jumped over the log. Those words are not mine. Even if no one in the history of the world had ever put that sentence together, ever. I was the first one in the history of ever to put that sentence together. I don't own it, you dumb twat. Are you fucking retarded? The idea that you can take movements that nobody owns. Do you know who has the patent on bodybuilding? Do you know who has the copyright on sprinting? Huh? How about the trademark on Olympic weight? Nobody. The answer is no one, you dumb fuck. Nobody owns any of that. This is all free source. This is like Android. It's open source. It's available for anyone to mix and match and do whatever the fuck they want with it. Now, if you come up with a methodology that is so fucking good, like Greg Glassman, one thing I love about it, he only went after people who infringed on the CrossFit name. Like, there were a bunch of knockoffs, did like XFit and all this other silly shit. But he never like went after people for like, oh, you copied my movements. Why? Because he wasn't retarded. He knew that you can't copyright that. He had smart people probably telling him, like, yeah, you're sprinting and kettlebell swinging and jumping on boxes. Yeah, we can't. I don't care. 2159 isn't exactly, copyrightable. It's not trademarkable. You can't protect it. It's not independently owned, created, and sourced IP. But there's still people out there that think some kind of program that you created. No one's ever done this kind of sets and reps and whatever in the history of the world. It doesn't matter. It's a recipe, right? Like, it's like nobody has the trademark on like pasta and basil and dough and mozzarella cheese, but the ingredients and the amounts and how long they cook it for, everyone has different pizza. But even then, you can't trademark a fucking pizza recipe either. I actually don't know that. I don't know if you can trademark. I doubt you could trademark a pizza recipe. Bottom line here, kids, whatever you think you own special, unique, and its IP, you don't. You're definitely not as big as Tracy Anderson. You don't have a fucking studio in Madrid and London. Gwyneth Paltrow, you didn't train Gwyneth Paltrow. So if Tracy Anderson's shit isn't trademarkable, why would yours? Why would your unique combination of like a number and an exercise and another number and an exercise and X amount of rounds, or I did it this certain way, or it had tempo in it, or whatever, it's not trademarkable, it's not protectable. Stop pursuing that. Instead, go after the things that are not protectable, but the things that will actually grow the business. Instead of like complaining that someone took your fucking workout that nobody cares about, that you created one time, it's insignificant. It's again, and if anyone has like, I believe I have a methodology that could change the fitness world, and this is such a massive finding that I have and I've created, and I really think I can make a huge change in the industry with it, but I'm afraid someone's going to steal it. I don't know, then I guess you get to die with that incredible gift. But I think for most of us, we like to put things out there put it out there. Fucking steal it, reiterate it, go for it. I don't know about you. I'm not upset about someone else like taking an idea that helps a bunch of other people. But what if they make money off it? Well, then maybe you should have been better at monetizing your own fucking idea. I don't know, crazy, right? Nuts. You mean someone was able to steal your thing and do a better job with it? That just means you might have been the genius behind the thing, but you sucked at monetizing it, at putting it in front of an audience. Someone else who maybe had less strength and conditioning chops, less fitness chops, less programming chops, but was better at storytelling, branding, marketing, and selling, they fucking rubbed your dick in the dirt with your own methodology. Yeah, that sucks. That stings. But it's not illegal. It's not fucking illegal. All right, guys. Until I talk to you in the next podcast, have a great fucking day.